Daf Lamed Hey Amud Aleph, 2 lines from the top. V'chilufa b'chalsa, and it's just the opposite by the din of a basket. We just learned previously that the Gabi Ben Shmoshes says a machloikes Rav and Rav Yosef. Rabbi had the larger shear of a Ben Shmoshes, Rav Yosef the smaller shear. The Gabi the din of a basket, the Gabi din of muksa, to what size of a basket is so large that we would not consider it to be a kli anymore. We consider it to be a dover that's muksa, that you can't take it on Shabbos. We say it's so large that it's not a vessel. It's therefore considered muksa on Shabbos. They reverse their shitas. They reverse their opinions. Rabbi has the smaller shear, and Rav Yosef has the larger shear. The Amar Rabba Chalsa about stray kuri. If you have a basket that contains 2 kur, a kur is 30 saw, so 2 kur is 60 saw. Sharla Taltul. It's mutter to carry that basket. It's still considered to be a kli. It's a keli. It's still considered to be a vessel. Even though it's so large, but it's still considered to be a kli, then therefore it is not muksa. Most kelim on Shabbos are not muksa. Things that you can use for personal use, they're not a davar, that's muksa. Something that is out of the category of a keli, something which is not a vessel, that is muksa, is not considered something that is for personal use on Shabbos, is muksa. Ubaslasa kure also katula, but if it's so big that it contains 3 kur, then it's also to carry that. Then if it has 90 saw, then it's also to carry. Rav Yosef Amar Baslasa kure namishari. So we see over here Rav Yosef, he says, has the larger shear. He says even 3 kur, it's mutter. It's still mutter to carry it. To be metaltal, it's not muksa. Basar ba kuri also, but 4 kur would be also. Amrabaya b'minei demar b'shas ma'isa. He said that he asked the shaila b'shas ma'isa. He asked the shaila from Rambam b'shas ma'isa, and if I feel about stray kur loy sharli, and he did not even permit 1 of 2 kurim. He said even that you can't. When he said when he was negaya to him with Shas Maisa, he asked Rabban, and even that, even 2 kur, he did not permit for him. Kiman. So who's this going according to? Kaman Kahai Tana. It's going like the following Tana. This non kaverasa kashu kaverasa kanim. If you have a basket that's made out of straw or reeds, ubor svina Alexandria's, or the cistern of a boat, a ship, an Alexandria's ship, they had the cistern there to hold the water. Even though it has a flat bottom, and it's so large that it will behold 40 saw in liquid, shehein kuraim biyavish, which is 2 kur biyavish, meaning 60 saw in yavish, and in dry measurements it would be 60, in liquid it would be 40, and this would be 60 tahar. It's considered to be tar. For a kli is makabel tuma, a vessel is makabel tuma. But in order to be makabel tuma, it has to be metaltal mole v'rekan. It has to be such that it is carried, you can carry it whether it's empty or whether it's full. If it's so large that when it's full you can't carry it, it's not considered a kli anymore, legabe tuma. So he holds over here, this Tana, that if it would be machzik in yavish kurayim, then it's tor. It's not considered a kli. And we're medama the dinam of a kli legabe tuma, legabe kli legabe muksa. So just like by tuma, you say that if it has kurayim, it's not considered a kli anymore. Legabe muksa also, if it's machzik kurayim, it's not considered a kli anymore. Rabbi Shmam, hi gucha tilsa habe. You see over here that the ratio, the gucha, what you heap up, compared to where it's leveled off, is 1/3. Now, liquid measure, you can only fill it to the top. On something that's dry measurements, you can heap it up. You can heap up the middle of it, and it rests on the bottom of it, on the solid on the bottom. So you can have a heaping mound on a dry measurement. Now, we're saying here that biyavesh, it's 60 saws, kuraim, which is 60 saw. Belach and liquid, it's 40. So you see that the difference is between the two is 1/3. It's 1/3 of 60 is 20. The difference between 40 and 60 is 20 saw is 1/3. So you see that at least in the standard measurements, the standard configurations of the kalim at that time, that the difference between the gucha, the heaping up a portion, and the leveling off was a third. Abaye Chazal Rava. So coming back to Bein Hashmashos. So we learned before that the Bein Hashmashos is when it says when the sky is red, and you see the sky has a reddish color to it, and then that is Bein Hashmashos. So Abaye Chazal Rava the Dovid Lamarav. So Abaye saw Rava that he was examining to see if it was Bein Hashmashos, to see if it was still daytime or it was now the end of the day and it was Bein Hashmashos, and he saw that he was looking towards the west. He was checking the western horizon to see if it was a reddish color. Amar Lev Tanya calls man shepnei mizrach ma'adimim. We learned in the Brisa when it says calls man shepnei mizrach ma'adimim, when it says the east is red. It says the east part is red. No, he said it says Pnei Mizrach. It doesn't mean the eastern sky, the sky of the east. It means the ponim that are madimim, the west side, which casts a glow, and it casts a reddish glow to the east. So really, you're looking at the west. It's really the west side. Is it the west side? Is it red? Why does it say Mizrach? Why does it say Kol Zman Shepnei Mizrach? Because when the west is a reddish glow, then the rays will opposite, which the sky, the horizon, which is opposite the west, the east, they'll also receive some of that reddish glow. But the question, the sky in question, is the west. Another version is that Rava saw Abaye the Kodav Mizrach, that he was Abaye, that he was facing the Mizrach, the east. So he told him, no, it says, even though the Brisa says Mizrach, it doesn't mean, do you think it means that really it's the eastern horizon? No, it's not Mizrach. It's the face, the Panim Hamadimim, that cast the red glow to the Mizrach, which means the Marav, the west. It's like a window. It's like a window. Rashi explains that if you have the rays coming through a window, and it will cast a reddish tint on the wall that's opposite. So it means the western sky, that the western horizon, that it's red, and it has a glow towards the east. And the Ritva learns it in an interesting way, because really, if it's the west, so why even mention the east? So why is it even significant to mention? So Ritva learns, no, that there's a significant point here. Why does it say Pnei Mizrach? Because the reddish glow has to be so strong, it has to be strong enough that you can still see some of the rays to the east. So if you can still see some of the glowers to the rays to the east, then you say it's Pnei Madimim. Meaning, therefore, according to the Shitas, that Bein Hashmashos starts only when there is no red. The red that we're talking about has to be that there has to be so much red that you can even see it on the east side, on the eastern side. If it doesn't have that degree of red to it, then we would say it's not considered the west side is not red enough to be still considered to be daytime, and therefore it's considered to be already dark. Rav Nechemya says that the time frame for Bein Hashmashos is that after Shkiyas Chama, if a person can walk a chatzi mil, if he can walk a distance of a half a mil, and like we said, I mentioned earlier, if a mil is 18 minutes, that means it's a period of 9 minutes. If the walking of a mil, the distance is 24 minutes, then it's 12 minutes. If you want to know what that shear is, what that time span is, you should, if you're on the top of the mountain of the Carmel, and you can see the sun, and you go down to be toivel in the yam. Now you have to be toivel mibayim. You have to be toivel while it's still daylight, before nighttime. So you can have enough time. If you see the sun on the top of the mountain, you can go down and be toivel, and it'll still be daytime. V'yala, and you go back up to the top of the mountain, and By the time you get back to the top of the mountain, then it's already nighttime. Then it's nighttime, and a kohen could eat the truma. So therefore, the entire span of time, if you can see the sun on the top of the mountain, there's enough time to go down to the yam to be toivel. It'll still be daytime, and then you come right back up to the top of the mountain. It'll be nighttime. So within that period of time, that's a period of Bein Hashmashos of Rav Nechemia. If you want to see it, the Be'er of Miriam, that traveled with them in the Midbar, you go up to the top of the Carmel, and you look and you gaze there. You'll see a boulder that looks like a sieve in the Yam, and that's the Be'er Shel Miriam, the Zuhi Be'er Shel Miriam. Amarav, Mayin Metal Tar. Something which is a Maya in a spring, if it's part of the ground, it's tar. You can be toivel in there. Like you can be toivel in a lake, in a river, and you can be toivel in a mine in a spring. But a mine and metaltal, and normally you can't be metaltal if you carry a pool of water. You carry it, it's something carried around. Normally that's something that's makabel tumah. You can't be toivel in that. But a mine, a metaltal, a spring which is movable, is a mine metaltal is tor. And that's the Be'er of Miriam. The only case we have in something like that, which is a Mayan, which is Torah, which is not Makabel Tumah, is the case of the Be'er Shel Miriam. Amar Yehuda Mar Shmuel, Bein Hashmashos of Rav Yehuda, the Kohanim Toivim by. The Bein Hashmashos of Rav Yehuda, the Kohana can be Toivim in it. So what does that mean? It's Bein Hashmashos means it's a suffix. Now you have to be toivel while it's still daytime. You can't be toivel in the nighttime. So if it's Bein Hashmashos, by definition, it's a suffix, and you can't be toivel then. So what does it mean Bein Hashmashos of Yehuda Kaim toivel? Laman ilem Rav Yehuda sveiku. It's a suffix. It can't be toivel. And what Rav Yehuda considers to be a Bein Hashmashos, he would not hold that you can be toivel there. You have to be toivel while it's daylight, while it's daytime, and this is a suffix. Ela Bein Hashmashos of Rav Yehuda, the Rav Yossi Kanim toivel. What it means is, what is considered the Bein Hashmashos of Rav Yehuda, according to Rav Yossi, who said that Bein Hashmashos is keher of ayin, it's like the blink of an eye. It's right before nighttime. It's right before it says the time of what it takes to blink an eye. So Rav Yossi would hold that the Bein what Rav Yehuda calls Bein Hashmashos, Rav Yossi would hold that's really daytime. You can be toivel, the Kohanim can be toivel then, because he would hold it's not Bein Hashmashos. He holds that it's daylight. So Pshita, of course. Well, he says that Rav Yossi's Bein Hashmashos comes after Rav Yehuda. Mar says, no, the same Bein Hashmashos, Rav Yossi, Meshach, Shayach, Rav Yehuda. You might think that they overlapped somewhat. Kamash Malan, the Shalom Bein Hashmashos, Rav Yehuda, V'hara Maschel Bein Hashmashos, Rav Yossi. Kamash Malan, no, there's no overlap. One Rav Yehuda's Bein Hashmashos, when that's completed, then it starts Rav Yossi's Bein Hashmashos. There's no overlap. Amar Rav Baruch Hanan, Rav Yochanan Alocha, Rav Yehuda, Linyan Shabbos. He says the halacha is like Rav Yehuda as far as Shabbos is concerned. So when the Bein Hashmashos of Rav Yehuda starts, which is earlier than the Bein Hashmashos of Yossi, when that starts already, L'gavi Shabbos, you cannot do any malach. It's already considered to be a suffix if it's Shabbos, a suffix Laila. So he said we have to be paskin like Rav Yehuda L'gavi Shabbos. Once the Bein Hashmashos of Rav Yehuda begins, which that is earlier than Rav Yossi. So once that comes, it commences earlier, then you already have to stop doing malacha. Halacha Rav Yossi le'in truma, and the halacha is like Rav Yossi legabe truma. Bishlam halacha Rav Yehuda le'in Shabbos l'chumra. So we understand when we say that what he meant when he said halacha is like Rav Yehuda legabe Shabbos, that he's machmer. Meaning he's not saying in any definitive way that the halacha of Bein Hashmashos is we paskin like Rav Yehuda or we paskin like Rav Yossi. So it seems clear that it's a suffix. Do we paskin the earlier Bein Hashmashos like Rav Yehuda or the later one like Rav Yossi? So that he says that Lagabi Shabbos we paskin like Rav Yehuda, so he's machmer. It's a suffix, so we have to be machmer. So therefore, even on the earlier Bein Hashmashos, the Bein Hashmashos of Rav Yehuda, there already is also to do malacha. We have to be machmer and say that already in the earlier Bein Hashmashos of Rav Yehuda, that's already considered a suffix Laila, suffix with Shabbos. You can't do malacha. But Legabi Truma, when we say that halach is like Rav Yossi, when he said halach is like Le'inyan Truma, what did he mean to say by that? Ilema it means to say that the kohen can be toivel in that entire period of time, the Bein Hashmashos of Rav Yehuda's period. The kohen can be toivel because Legabe Truma, we consider it to be daytime. A kohen has to be toivel, the tefillah has to be done during the daytime. It has to be done at daytime, can't be done at night. So if you mean to say that we paskin Legabe Truma, that period of Bein Hashmashos, what Rav Yehuda calls Bein Hashmashos, we paskin Rav Yossi, and it's considered day, and you can be toivel, the kohen can be toivel, how could that be? Sveike, he acknowledged, Rav Yochanan himself is saying that it's a sofek. We don't know if the halach is like Rav Yossi or like Rav Yehuda, so it's a sofek. How can we, mitzad sofek, minas sofek, how can we say that the kohen could be toivel in the Bein Hashmashos of Rav Yehuda? How can we say that? It can't be. Ela achilas truma. What he meant to say is legabe achilas truma. Deloy achli kohanim truma ad shalom Bein Hashmashos Rav Yossi. It's consistent. He's being machmir. He's saying we have to be machmir legabe Shabbos. So therefore, legabe Shabbos, we have to say the Bein Hashmashos starts with Rav Yehuda's Bein Hashmashos. Legabe eating the truma can only be eaten after it's nighttime. So it has to be varei night. So legabe truma, we say we have to be machmir and say the kohen cannot eat the truma until the Bein Hashmashos of Rav Yossi is completed. He has to wait a little bit longer until the Bein Hashmashos of Rav Yossi is completed, and then he can eat, and only then can he eat truma.